Why praise feels wrong when you're not okay. You don't remember when it started, just that it's always there now. That feeling right after someone says something nice and you smile. Because you should. Because it's the right response. But inside, it's flat, heavy, almost hollow. And you don't tell anyone because it sounds ungrateful, because it's supposed to feel good. Because if praise doesn't land, then what does? You keep collecting compliments like proof, but none of them stick. They slide off, disappear, like they were never meant for you. So you ask yourself, why do I feel emptier every time someone tells me I'm enough? You nod, you thank them, you give the smile that makes people feel like they helped, like their words landed. But when you're alone, you replay the compliment like a voicemail you didn't ask for. Not because you liked it, but because you need to believe it. And somehow, you still don't. You keep thinking the next one will feel different. Maybe this time you'll actually let it in. Maybe this time it won't feel like someone praising a version of you that doesn't exist. But then it comes, and there's that flicker, that quiet space between hearing it and feeling it, and nothing arrives. It's like the part of you that's supposed to absorb it just isn't there anymore. Or maybe it never was. You probably know this feeling, even if you've never said it. You win something. They call your name, you post it, they like it. But when the noise fades, there's just this dullness. Like you're watching your life happen to someone else, and you're not even sure why you care. You used to think that was modesty or nerves. But now you're not so sure, because it keeps happening. Every time someone tells you, you did amazing. Every time someone looks at you like they're proud. There's that pause, not out loud, but inside, where the voice asks, why does this feel fake? And you can't answer it, so you try harder. You start curating yourself, making sure the version they see is the one that earns the right reaction. You know what works, so you do more of it. Say the right things, keep it polished, keep it together. Because if they believe it, maybe you will too. But the more they clap, the more disconnected you feel. From them, from yourself, from whatever it was that used to feel real. You start rehearsing your reactions, even before anything happens. Because the fear isn't that they won't see you, it's that they'll see the wrong thing. The cracks. The part that doesn't believe any of this is deserved. And then without warning, it shows up again. That moment when someone says, you're doing great, and all you feel is pressure. Not pride, not relief, just a strange, heavy expectation. Like now you owe something. Like now you have to be that version again. And again, and again. It's not that you don't want to feel good, you just forgot how. Or maybe you traded it. For control, for certainty, for a kind of safety that doesn't actually protect anything. You smile because you're supposed to. You respond how you were taught to. But somewhere in your chest, it's just blank. You try to trace it back. Maybe it was when you were younger, and praise was earned, not offered. Maybe it was when I'm proud of you only showed up when there were trophies. Maybe it was the way they said, you always do so well, even when you were barely holding it together. And over time, you learned the rules. Do well, get love. Be impressive equals stay safe. Keep performing, stay needed. So now, years later, every compliment still feels like a test. Not a gift, not a connection. A test you have to pass again, just to stay worthy. And failure, it's not an option. Because if you stop being the good one, you're not sure what's left. Here's the part that still stings. Sometimes you don't even hear what they're saying. You're too busy thinking about how to respond, right? You're managing the optics of your own appreciation, because it's never just thank you. It's, do they believe me? Do I look like I mean it? Do I sound like someone who deserves this? The loop isn't loud. It's practiced, automatic, invisible from the outside. But inside, it's draining something. Quietly, constantly. There's a version of you that shows up to life like it's a stage. Not out of vanity, not out of arrogance, but because performance is what kept you safe. And when you've built your entire identity around being impressive, being liked, being admired, you don't even realize you're bleeding. Because there's always another round, another audience, another chance to prove you're okay. Even when you're not. You convince yourself you're just being humble. That this is what modesty looks like. That it's normal to feel weird after compliments. But that's not what this is. This isn't modesty. It's emotional distance, not from others, from yourself. Because somewhere deep inside you decided that praise wasn't safe to trust. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they just don't know the real you. Maybe if they saw how much of your energy is faked, they'd stop saying it at all. So you don't let it in. Not fully. Because if it's real, then why does it feel like this? And still, you keep chasing it. Refreshing the app, replaying the message, watching the numbers, waiting for that one reaction that finally makes it click, that finally proves you're enough. But it never lasts. Because no amount of applause can reach a part of you that decided a long time ago it doesn't deserve to be loved. But it never lasts. Because no amount of applause can reach a part of you that decided a long time ago it doesn't deserve to be loved. And this is where it starts to crack. Because you can't stop chasing what doesn't fill you. You know it won't help. But you still check, still wait, still rehearse being okay for people who can't see how tired you are from pretending. And the worst part? You're good at it. Too good. So they keep clapping and you keep shrinking. You play the role until it fits like skin, until it's not a mask anymore, it's memory. And even when you're alone, you don't drop the act, because you're not sure who's underneath it anymore. You thought you were building confidence, but all you were building was distance, between what they saw and what you actually felt, between what you gave and what you needed. And it worked. For a while. But now everything feels delayed, muted. Like the compliments arrive in a language your body forgot how to understand. And this is where something quietly broke. When feeling proud turned into performance anxiety. When gratitude started tasting like pressure. When happiness felt like debt. They tell you you're glowing, but you can't tell if it's light or exhaustion. You smile anyway, because it's safer than silence. Because silence might expose the truth, that you don't believe any of it anymore. What if you stopped knowing who you are, but kept pretending you did? What if every good thing they said about you only made you feel further from yourself? What if the reason you keep refreshing, keep performing, keep staying visible is because deep down, you're scared of what disappears when no one's watching? There's a version of you that only comes out when no one's around, and even then, only briefly. Only in those late-night fragments. When the phone is off, when the smile is gone, when the echo of praise has finally died out, and what's left is that dull, familiar question. Why can't I feel this? You try to answer it, but the words don't land, they spin, then dissolve. Because the question isn't logical, it's cellular, it lives under the skin, and no affirmation can reach it. This is when the silence started to scream, not loud, not sudden, just constant. You get the promotion, the message, the love, and still you're exhausted, not from effort, from emptiness, from the weight of never actually arriving in your own joy. How many days have you spent smiling just right so no one would ask how you really feel? How long have you confused being admired with being understood? How much of your strength was just stamina for loneliness you never admitted you felt? Right here is where you got used to disappearing. Not all at once, just little pieces. The part of you that used to celebrate. The part that used to believe people meant what they said. The part that used to trust feeling good without proof. You didn't notice it at first. You just got quieter, more tired, more fine, until fine became default. Until the only thing you could feel was the effort of appearing okay. This isn't burnout. This is grief in slow motion. Grief for the version of you that once believed praise meant something. Grief for the part of you that just wanted to be seen, not measured. And maybe that's what hurts the most. Not that the validation didn't work, but that you needed it to. That somewhere in you, a younger self was still waiting for someone to say, I see you, and you don't have to earn this. But no one said it. So you kept performing, kept proving, kept showing up in costumes they didn't even realize were costumes. And now, you're still here. Still clapping for yourself through the ache, still hoping the next compliment will feel like home, still wondering what it means. That it never does. Maybe it was never about the praise, maybe it was about how quiet it got after, not lonely, just emptied, like the part of you that was supposed to feel something stopped waiting. You didn't forget how to receive love, you just learned how to survive without trusting it, without needing it to stay, without asking it to see the whole you. And maybe that's the part that still aches, not the silence, But how long you kept showing up to it like it was enough. You thought the pattern was strength, but maybe it was just silence that learned how to speak politely. You thought applause meant connection, but it only taught you how to rehearse affection until even you couldn't tell what was real. And maybe you didn't lose yourself. Maybe you just stopped looking for someone who'd notice when you disappeared. What if this wasn't detachment? What if it was grief that didn't know where to land? What if the thing you've been calling emptiness is actually a part of you still waiting to be believed? You didn't vanish. You just got tired of proving you were here. And you don't have to keep performing. Not here. Not right now. You don't have to figure it all out. Just don't disappear mid-thought.